Namo Phat. Thanks for joining me for a daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This wonderful sound calls us back to our true home. The fifth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I vow to cultivate good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will ingest only items that preserve peace, well-being, and joy in my body, in my consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family and society. I'm determined not to use alcohol or any other items that contain toxins, such as certain TV programs, magazines, books, films, and conversations. I'm aware that to damage my body or my consciousness with these poisons is to betray my ancestors, my parents, my society, and future generations. I will work to transform violence, fear, anger, and confusion in myself and in society by practicing a diet for myself and for society. I understand that a proper diet is crucial for self-transformation and the transformation of society. For Dharma lessons, we've been reading More Than Mindfulness, Widening the Field of Practice by the Monastics of the Thai Forest Sangha. We're continuing tonight in a talk by Ajahn Karunadhamma called Mindfulness and Kamma. So it brought up some reflections on kamma, action. Kamma, karma in Sanskrit, basically just means action and the fact that it is rooted firmly in cetana, intention or volition. Intentional action is what causes results from a kammic standpoint. The actions that don't have any intention one way or another will certainly have some sort of peripheral effect, but in terms of the moral effect on the mind, intention is a required factor. So, kamma is actually a moral law. Action that is based in wholesome states of mind will eventually, in some way, have wholesome results. Actions that are based on unwholesome or unskillful states of mind, states that are clouded or deluded or angry, or based on some sort of harmful, defiled state of mind, will have unwholesome effects at some point down the line. So, kamma is a moral law. But the results of kamma are heavily dependent upon intentional action. Intention, cetana, how can you describe it? How can you know it? I experience it as momentum, this thrust of mind, this movement of mind that precedes any kind of action of body, speech, or mind. It's a momentum that is generated prior to taking any action. And it's definitely a mental experience. You can see it happen in extreme states of wanting, desire, craving, or aversion. You can feel that momentum start to arise if you have some sense of clarity in the mind at all, even if it is a tiny bit. Sometimes in strong situations, you can start to feel that rise of energy that wants to express itself in some sort of action. It's that mental momentum, that mental rising up based on some sort of strong mind state that gives you an idea of what intention, cetana, feels like. It's usually a movement to get something or to get away from something, to negate something. It results in some sort of speech or action or thinking, mental process, often some sort of proliferative process. So it's part and parcel of any kind of kammic producing activity. Kamma is also often referred to with vipaka, the result of intentional actions. We can see that when we have intentional actions based on positive states of mind, then the result, either now or later, is positive. Negative intentions will result in negative results. And there's also the mixture of the two. Then there is the fourth kind of karma, the karma that leads to the end of karma, which is that action that is based in practicing with all the factors of the Noble Eightfold Path. Practicing with all the factors is the karma, the intentional action that leads to the end of the karmic process itself, which is the hallmark path towards liberation. Often we think of karma in its colloquial uses in a negative sense. Oh, something bad is happening to me. It's because of some negative karma I did in the past, and I'm experiencing the results of it now. But it's important to remember and reflect on the positive results of good actions from the past. If we really reflect on it, we can see that probably all of us in this room are experiencing the results of really positive, wholesome past actions. We have abundant requisites: food, clothing, shelter, medicines, material objects that we need. Often we have quite a bit more than we need. All of this is the result of past wholesome action coming to fruition. We are with good friends. We are surrounded, at least in this monastery, by good-hearted people who are interested in truth and interested in establishing wholesome, skillful internal states of mind. Skillful states not only for themselves, but also looking out to the world around us and wanting to ensure that all creatures, all friends, people, animals that we meet have that feeling of security and safety and well-being too. And being with these like-minded people is a result of past action. We set the causes and conditions for this to come to fruition and are experiencing the results of that past good action right here and now. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Namo Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.